take them all out for the big bounce off the bottom. That's a big shakeout. This is what happens to the bulls when they got that exuberance.
I can't even keep up with the tick-tock.
All right, we're in bear market. We told you people not to get involved in that. Whoa, look at that.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Monday night, April 16th, 2012. I'm your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Sifakia.
Aloha, STT. Good to be back on radio with you, man. Feels
Aloha.
Like it's been a while.
Aloha, brother. It has been a while.
Yeah, feels like it.
Oh, ever since about, 9 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
It's a long, long day to wait for the nighttime radio. That's right. Don't forget, catch the morning show here at STT Radio, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, starring Stock Sumo, Sifakia, and Haas. So, Sif, you ready for tonight's big show?
Yeah, I think we can pull it off, man.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
I think we got it all lined up.
I'm kind of getting used to doing all the work.
Yeah, it's easy, actually. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. You know, a whole week without somebody hogging the mic and everything, it's been beautiful radio.
I mean, I do miss the multi-baggers personally. I mean,
Couple multi-baggers you missed out on?
Yes.
It happens.
That's not cool, but besides that, I think we got it covered. So I'll follow your lead as usual, and we'll do our thing.
All right. What do you want to start with? You want to start with what's hot on Investors Hub today, or you got some bottom plays you like in, or what do you want to do here?
We can just go over some tickers. I'll read the charts, whatever.
I go over some tickers. You read the charts.
Yeah, let's get some STT picks.
STT picks.
Clearly, you guys are going to have to get COP if you want some STT picks.
Cop.
Who's
that?
All right, you done messing with me?
No, because Sif never ended it like he was supposed to.
Well, I lost track, man. Cop threw me off by laughing. I thought he was going to... Yeah, man.
You ruined my whole intro, man.
Good try.
You were supposed to say we forgot about Cop.
You thought I was.
Hey, listen. Do you know how many radio shows are out there that would want me to come work for them?
One?
Take me with you.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you? I'm introducing
myself.
What's up, Cop? This is Cop. I've been on hiatus, on vacation, I guess is what what STT would actually say. Hence why I'm getting the intro I'm getting right now. But I'm back, and I am ready to bring the money balls like you wouldn't believe.
All right.
I wouldn't believe.
Yep, and I got one for you tonight.
You got one for us tonight?
I have a gamer that's getting ready to be huge, in my opinion.
Gamer that's ready to be huge.
Inner ring bomber, as we like to say it on the STT board.
I don't know if I want to let you go or not.
I'm sure there are probably many people listening that are probably saying, all right, STT, let him go.
Well, let me ask you this. Since your profound statement of how many other radio shows want to hire you, has your phone started ringing yet?
No.
Huh?
I would never leave STT radio. What are you guys, crazy?
It's interesting. I just want to make sure that, everything is balanced. That's all.
Hey, Cop, all I want is my multi-bagger daily pick from you. I know you gave me the CAGR on Friday. Today we were missing you big time on the radio, so you can't leave us hanging like that, man. But the day isn't over, so what do you got for us?
All right.
Wait, I got a couple announcements first. If you don't mind. Is it okay?
No, it's your radio show, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I will be joining the morning show tomorrow. Special guest, me, STT. That's correct. And not only will I be joining it, I will be hosting. I'm going to kick Sumo right out of his chair.
Sumo's going to be so upset.
He's going to have to live and learn. Live and learn. He'll get over it, I'm sure. I am more than sure. And basically, that was my announcement for tonight. I may have one later in the show, which should be very good. I think people will like this announcement. But without further ado, I know why people are listening tonight. I did know the cop was back. I knew that from about, 7:55 on tonight, that he was back and ready to do radio. So I will hold you up no longer and throw the microphone over to Mr. Cop for his stock spotlight tonight. Mr. Cop, take it away, sir.
All right, what's going on, gentlemen? All right, first thing I'm going to open this up with is in the OTC market world, right? There's what you call that perfect storm, that recipe for success, if you will. And what it normally is a low float, low share structure, a lot of attention, liquidity, speculation, very ethically background type company, financials filed, and huge possibilities on the end. That's the where you can have the story, where you can have the hope and dreams and all that regular stuff, and actually have a viable product. Many viable products, actually. And with that being said, tonight's ticker actually meets every single one of those wickets. It's actually amazing, to tell you the truth. And that is DNAD Dynamics, Inc., DNAD, DNAD. To give you a little background of the company, first thing is it's basically they design applications, games for for iPhone, Droid, and those type of things. Now, as we always do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the iBox, right? Investors Hub's our key spot we want to go to. And what you end up having in the Investors Box, good group of traders are actually out there. Wolverine, who else we got out there? A lot of good people that are actually on the board that will actually, that bring a lot of awareness and those type of things. LX Trojan Man XL's big, Helicon, Raggy, Penny Haven. There's a whole bunch of people that are actually on this stock, and they're on it for very good reason, right? It's giving gains each week. Right now, it's trading at point. Let me get that for you. It's trading at 0.0025, I believe, is what it closed at today. It's 0.0025 on 7 million in volume. Not a lot, up 4%. Looks like it went all the way up to like the 27, 28 area, and the low was 20. So little volatility. That's actually even within the trading range of the day. Over time, it's been low on volume, started increasing recently from the low of about 0.0011 area. So I kind of want to just give you a little tidbit of information with that. Okay, now they have a website. It's pretty good, separated into three sections. The DNA Group, which is DNA Dynamics, DNA Studios, and DNA Interactive. The Dynamics is the parent company of the two wholly owned subsidiaries, mobile games and apps developer DNA Studios and global games publisher DNA Interactive, right? So DNA Studios was formerly Slam Productions, and DNA Interactive was formerly Apache Mobile Ltd., a publisher of game and apps for mobile and tablet devices. So that's essentially the background. I'm going to go into that a little bit more. Share structure that you actually have in the iBox has it at shares outstanding is 300 million, right around there, and on April 9th, and the float 203 million. Authorized shares 350 million. And they got the auditor, they have the legal counsel, and the investor relations firm. Now, Elite Financial Communications Group is out of Lake Mary, Florida. Is very good at what they do. All right, it's a very good investor relations group. If those of you that don't know who that is, I believe it's Kathy Addiston and Dodie Handy, I believe it is, right? I think that's her name. point being, they're very good at what they do, and they run a very good company. iBox has a bunch of the press releases. Then it has the DNA Dynamics blog, which most of this stuff is actually from the website. Now, what you're seeing is you'll see some upcoming games, and you'll see some newer releases. Now, the games in the past were Warheads, Dizzy Prince of Yoke Folk, Skills, DJ Game, and Legacy. Now, this company is actually from the UK. All right, so let me give you a little tidbit of information with that. It's actually out of 1 Warwick Street, Royal Leamington Spa, Warwickshire, UK. All right, so pretty good from a lot of different aspects. So the next thing I want to do, I want to jump over to the OTCmarkets.com. All right, so as always, give you a second to go to OTCmarkets.com, and I'm going to tell you something that I have probably never said on a radio show. These financials are unbelievable, okay? And I'm not talking from a revenue standpoint. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a company being fully transparent and tell you every single thing that they're doing. All right, and just so you know, from the OTCmarkets.com website, the share structure matches. Shares outstanding 300 million, float 203 million, authorized shares 350. So that's pretty good. And it has the contact information, those type of things where they're incorporated and all that. Ed Blinko is the president and CEO. David Lovat is the secretary in the co. And it has all the different things with the providers and et cetera. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to go to the financials, all right? And I don't normally jump to financials right out of the gate, but I want to, all right? April 11, 2012, they filed an annual report. Now, this annual report is probably about, 30 pages long, somewhere around there. But I'm just going to run through pieces of this to give you a complete understanding of what type of company and what type of ethical background and transparency these guys are bringing to the table. I don't know if it's because they're from the UK and they do things right, or if they're just not used to the OTC markets for what they are. But everything that you're invested in right here, point blank. All right, so it goes forward-looking statements and, general company information. It gives you all the cautionary factors that may affect future results. Cautionary statements under the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act 1995, and it lists every single risk factor that's actually associated with it. Volatility of stock prices. They've never issued a dividend and don't anticipate any dividends in the future. No active market, meaning it's been very quiet, right? Although the company shares a list of the Pink Sheet listing service, the company believes that the public trading price may be inaccurate representation of the value of the company because there is little or no trading volume in the company shares and no analysts or NASD market makers actively following the company, right? They're telling you point blank what's going on with it. And, who does that? They don't normally do that. Talks about you could be diluted from the issuance of additional common and preferred stock. DNA Dynamics is also authorized to issue up to 350 million shares of common stock and 20 million shares of preferred stock. To that extent, to such authorization, our board of directors will have the ability, without seeking shareholder approval, to issue additional shares of common stock in the future for such consideration as the board may consider sufficient. The issuance of additional common stock in the futures may reduce your proportionate ownership and voting power. Okay, so we're going to go roll it right over to the part, right? I mean, that's like on page 3. They're telling you right up front, this is who we are, this is what we got, this is what we're bringing to the table. The company information goes through the address and those type of things where they were done. Cuspit number 25600R101, and then par or stated description of security, right? Common stock. I don't need to go into all that. I think most of you know that. Well, then it goes through each holder of preferred stock and the different amounts. So the number of shares in the security outstanding for each class, right, which we've kind of just talked about a little bit right there. The transfer agent, which is Stalt Inc. out of Menlo Park, California. Okay, the business developments, right, goes through that whole thing for 2011. Tells you all the shares of common stock was issued to David Lovett as remuneration for his role as corporate secretary. That was on 20th January 2011, 50 million shares. 15 million shares on June 2011 to Edward Blinko for his role as president, chairman, and chief executive officer. During the past 3 years, the company has not been in bankruptcy, receivership, or involved in any similar proceedings. The company is not, and I'm going to read this pretty clear, the company is not in default in the terms on any note, any loan, lease, or other indebtedness or financing arrangement requiring the company to make payments. Nothing. Except for, as described herein, that the company has not during the past 3 years had any stock splits, stock dividends, mergers, reorganizations, or similar transactions. The company has not been subject to any delisting by a security exchange or deletion from the OTC Bulletin Board. There are no current, pending, or threatened legal proceedings or administrative actions against the company, nor has there been for the past 3 years. Find the financials in the OTC market that can say all that stuff. It's going to be pretty rare. All right. Then it goes through the business of the issuer, right? Talks about all that different stuff, the mobile apps and the apps, smartphones. I'm not going to go into too detail with that because I want you to go to the website for some of that. The nature of the products or services offered, which are a lot of the games and different things. And it was formed DNA. I kind of want to go into this so you can understand what we were just talking about a little earlier. DNA Dynamics restructured its subsidiary companies in October 2011 so that the two subsidiaries, DNA Interactive and DNA Studios, now operate under a UK subsidiary, Helica Games Limited, HGL. HGL was formed in 2011 primarily as an ownership vehicle for the two operating subsidiaries and holds all of the issued share capital of the two subsidiaries. DNAD owns all the issued share capital of HGL. DNA Interactive Limited was formed in the United Kingdom in 2010 with an authorized common stock of 1,000 shares. The organization is a mobile platform application game development company. DNAI is a wholly owned subsidiary of HGL. The company was acquired by DNA Dynamics, DNAD, the stock we're talking about, in November 2010. Okay, and that was formerly Apache, right? DNA Studios Limited was formed in the United Kingdom in 2011 with authorized common stock of 100 shares. The organization is a video games development company. The company was acquired by DNA Dynamics in April of 2011, and that was the formerly Slam Productions that it was said in the iBox. Filing shows exactly what that is. The companies now operate as a wholly owned subsidiary of DNA Dynamics, where the authorized share capital is 350 million common shares. Right, points that whole thing out, and the nature of the extent of the issue of facilities. Right, management structure and financial information. Basically, it tells you that Edward owns 15 million common stock, 5 million preferred, which is 50% of the preferred class, by the way. David Lovett, 15 million common stock, and he owns the other 50% of the preferred, 5 million preferred class A. The Paul Ranson owns 8 million. Craig Weeks owns 8 million, 4%. And then it goes through and it talks about the people. So let me tell you about who our guys are here, and this will kind of set the stage for you. Edward Blinko, 36, President, CEO, and Chairman of the Board of Directors. Mr. Blinko has worked in the video game industry for 13 years for companies such as Codemaster, South Peak Interactive, 505 Games, and Games Domain. From November 2008 to mid-2010, Mr. Blinko was European Marketing Director for video games publisher South Peak Interactive, that led the European marketing team on console and PC games such as licensed Horrid Henry, based on the ITV children's cartoon, Section 8, PC and Xbox 360. November 2005 to June 2008, Mr. Blinko was a senior marketer for the launch of the Lord of the Rings online in Europe. Okay, Lord of the Rings. You're getting exactly how big this guy plays in some of these, which is still considered one of the biggest MMO, massively multiplayer games released of its time. Ed was also responsible for launches of subsequent post-launch marketing for Dungeons & Dragons Online, Arch Lord Online, Time of Defiance, Darkaroon, Dream of, and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? Now, David Lovett, 37, is the corporate secretary. Now, experienced and technically aware professional with a successful career in commercial and sales management, who is hands-on, creative, passionate, motivated, and goal-oriented, and has an eye on detail and not from a broad approach. His long history in sales execution, technology startups, and development of VC-backed and public companies. David was the managing director of Enable Software from 2008 to April 2011, and the CEO of Cloud Centric Systems, Inc. from 2009 to February 2011. Now, you notice when all the dates are coming around the same time, February, March, April, to where they're launching all of these new things that they're doing with the subsidiary closing, right? Stars are aligning here a little bit. He was the president of the Mobile Media Unlimited Holdings, Inc. from 2007 to August 2008. All right, and it goes on and on. Management, legal, other type of stuff that are in here, related party transactions, family relationships, goes through all that stuff. Summary of compensation table, right? Tells you that whole thing. you guys ready for this? Get ready to be blown away from this. What do you guys think his salary was? $35,000. That's what his salary was. Ed Blinko's salary, $35,000. David Lovett's salary, $35,000 for 2011. Right? Now, I have seen so many OTC companies, and they're always 100,000, 120,000, and more. Right? This tells me that these guys are serious about what they're doing. They're building a business. And if you look through these filings, you're going to see a whole bunch of things that will echo exactly this. Now, the members of the board, all right, it goes through the beneficiary owners, kind of like what I just talked about there a little bit ago. Now, it goes into the management discussion and analysis of the plan of operation. And it goes through the whole flow. You know, the company's generated net revenues, $43,000, cost of sales, $174,000, a whole different things, right? And it has issuance history and all that other type of stuff, all right? But I'm not going to go through every single one of this, but it has the accounting things. I mean, it is page after page after page of every last little detail that you would like to know financially about the company. Now, are they making huge revenues? That answer is no. However, how are they building the base and the architecture for this company? Yes, they are. Comprehensive loss, impairment, income taxes, revenue recognition, basic and diluted loss per common share, recently issued accounting standards, the whole 9 yards, the acquisitions, each note, every enclosure, notes payable, advance payable, every time they issued common stock, where it went, why it went there, how much it was, the promissory notes. I mean, every last little detail they actually have in here. And I would challenge anybody to find me one OTC company that has financials that are laid out exactly like this. All right, so what is that? Okay, what are you really saying, Cop? Okay, here's what I'm saying. Ethically and transparently from a company, they're doing exactly what they should do to be a viable business. That's what they're doing. Are they making money hand over fist yet? No. However, let me tell you a little something that kind of happened here. All right, now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to jump to a press release. Now, the reason why I'm going to go to this press release is I'm not normally too happy when a company issues press release after press release, but I'm going back in time. I'm going to take you back to October 19th, 2011, okay? DNA Interactive signs deal with Fremantle Media Enterprises to develop mobile game based on hit television show Merlin. Okay, those of you that know Merlin is a big show, and is in numerous countries. And I'm going to roll through a couple pieces of this, but let me finish the press release. A global developer and publisher of mobile video app games and applications today announced that through its wholly owned subsidiary, DNA Interactive Ltd., the company has signed a worldwide licensing agreement with Fremantle Media Enterprises, FME, the brand extension arm of Fremantle Media, to design, develop, and to bring to market a new mobile game based on the hit television series Merlin. Leveraging the international success and exciting storylines of Merlin, the television program, the game will be an episodic point-and-click fantasy adventure game containing a mixture of puzzles, side missions, and fun conversation throughout. Players will take control of the young Merlin on a quest to help Arthur and Guinevere. DNA will develop the game using its proprietary cross-platform rapid application development tool, which is the SLAM engine. Right? Now, basically what the SLAM engine does, it allows them to develop games very, very fast, to where it would take anywhere from 6 months to a year to develop something. They can do this in a month, and some of it quicker than that, depending on what it is. And it's published on the iOS and the Android platforms, with the release slated for the first quarter of 2012. Okay, so the Merlin game is slated for release on the first quarter of 2012. Hey, guess what? We're there. Notice that slowly but surely you're starting to get a little bit of volume here. Having invested in the Merlin series alongside UK broadcaster BBC One, FME holds the exclusive distribution, home entertainment, and licensing rights to Merlin. FME has sold the television series, which was recently commissioned by the BBC for its fourth season, to over 52 broadcasters in 183 countries, including Sci-Fi in the United States, CTV in Canada, Network 10 in Australia, Miko in Japan, and RTL in Germany. absolutely ridiculous amount. I mean, you guys know the show Merlin, right? It's huge. It's absolutely huge all over the place. FME has also secured licensing deals to produce numerous other multi-territory Merlin-branded products, including a publishing range and action figurines. Okay. Commenting on the deal, Ed Blinko, CEO of DNA Interactive, stated, "We are thrilled to be bringing to iOS and Android gamers a fun, challenging, and highly interactive gaming experience based on the much-loved Merlin brand. The television show currently entertains tens of millions of viewers worldwide. The wealth of content and the global awareness of the brand is sure to contribute to the ultimate success of Merlin, the game, and in turn positively impact DNA's revenue growth in the coming year." And Martin Ogden talks about the commercial development manager of Free Media Ads. "Merlin continues to grow in popularity all over the world, and we are delighted to further extend our international licensing program with Merlin, the game, which offers fans a new and exciting way to interact with the brand." Okay, now remember I told you about the Lord of the Rings earlier, how it became the biggest multimedia-type game, multiplayer-type game of its kind. The guy knows how to do this, and now he's getting ready to try to do this with Merlin, right? Which, as you know, it's not as big as the movie thing as Lord of the Rings. However, Merlin is pretty big in all these different countries. So Merlin launched in 2008. Merlin tells the story of a young Merlin in Camelot. You guys know the whole deal. And stars Colin Morgan as Merlin, Bradley James as Prince Arthur, Anthony Head as King Arthur, and Kathy McGrath as Morgana, and Angela Colby as Gwen. Richard Williams as Gullus, and John Hurt as the voice of the Great Dragon. So it goes through the whole series, and it talks about Fremantle Media Enterprise, FME, which is no slouch. I mean, that is a big company. And matter of fact, let me just tell you so you can understand exactly how big this is. Okay, it holds exclusive distribution, excluding UK, home entertainment and licensing right to The Adventures of Merlin. FME has sold the series to over 52 broadcasters in more than 183 countries, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, now is one of the leading creators and producers of entertainment brands in the world. It's part of the Super RTL Group, Europe's largest television and radio broadcasting company, which in turn is 90% owned by Bertelsmann AG, one of the world's major media and entertainment companies. Fremantle Media's worldwide production arm is responsible for many of the world's highest-rated primetime entertainment, drama, serial drama, and factual entertainment programs. Absolutely huge, right? All over the world, all over the place, and it goes through different pieces of that. Now, I'm going to jump to one more thing about this. All right, so in essence, you have this huge TV series that's been running for 4 years, actually, and just got picked up for its 5th year, I believe, and they're getting ready to be the exclusive rights to building that game and marketing that with free market media. So you're talking some huge door opening right here. Now, I want to, just so you can understand how big this is, about Merlin Sci-Fi. Now, about Merlin Sci-Fi, and I'm just going to, if you go to www.sci-fi.com/Merlin, it shows you the show and everything else. All right. Now, this is on the Sci-Fi website. You can watch the TV show. I think this week is on the 31st is actually the season finale, and then they start the new season. So get the timing of what's happening here. Season finale is on the 31st. They're getting ready to release the game. They'll launch the game, put the game out, and then the next season comes. I mean, so you're seeing exactly why everything's kind of aligning here of what they're doing. All right, so the next thing on this, I want to get you to the Adventures of Merlin. Okay, now the Adventures of Merlin, and this will tell you it is www.theadventuresofmerlin.com. Okay, now what this is a portal, all right? Now, this is how big this is. So work with me here, www.theadventuresofmerlin.com. When you go to that website, what this is a complete portal for the world, all right? So I'm going to click on Merlin websites. I go to Merlin's websites, and guess what comes up? The entire world. And I'm going to name you the countries where this is happening at. Canada, USA, Latin America, Disney Channel, HBO, Africa, South Africa, Australia, Asia, Japan, Greece, Italy, Turkey, Spain, Portugal, France, UK, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Russia. This show is airs there right now. That's where you're getting the 10 million plus all over the place. And I'm sure those numbers are skewed to a certain point because it's probably a tremendously more than that based off what it is. Now, on this map, the irony to it is you can click on any single one of these countries, right? So I'm going to just click on the USA because I can read that. All right. So I click on USA, and what it does now goes to the main programmer that shows that, and which in this case was Sci-Fi, and it goes through, shows the videos of the different show and all of that other type of stuff. So bottom line is the thing is marketed already, meaning the infrastructure to market the game exists. And if you go to Sci-Fi and all that other stuff, you'll see all the apps, all the games, all the different things for the different shows in the past, Lord of the Rings, all that other stuff. So essentially, as soon as they get this game ready to launch, they're able to put this on every one of these infrastructures and the architecture that's already built, and it just sells royalties. It just sells. It downloads. It does, it's already exists. They don't have to create it. That's what makes this combination of what they're doing here so damn powerful. All right. Now, that's the hope, dream, speculation, and all that other stuff. Now let me get you to the Moneyball. All right. Moneyball, please, is we go to DD Amanda. All right. You guys, those of you that have listened to the show before know everything about DD Amanda. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best tools you can imagine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to march you all the way back to right at the very end of last year, okay, 12/29, right before we're getting ready to go into the new year. All of a sudden, you start getting a little bit of volume. 56 grand one day, only 14 million shares. 17 grand the next day, 11 grand the next day, 11 grand the next day, 6 grand the next day, and then nothing. Then you got a little week that goes by, 16 grand happens on the 9th, right? Only 6 million shares. Very low volume for another 2 weeks. I'm talking like maybe $300 worth of shares. This is how they're talking about the volatility, right? So basically, somebody in the know starts loading the stock. Now, here's the beauty to it. The range was 29 to 30 when this is being loaded. Most of it between 34 and 49 and 30 and 49 is when that 56 grand came. All right. So now you're getting a slow little bit here of where it's hardly trading at all. 2 weeks go by, 12 grand comes into play. 4 grand, 3 grand, 8 grand, 9 grand, 8 grand. All right. Not big numbers. They're small numbers, but they're eating up 4 million shares, 2 million, 6 million, and then now it starts trading lower. So now you're trading at the 15 to 18 range, and I think the low that you got was actually 11 at one point during all of that. However, that was on a day that had $294 traded. All right. Then all the way on March 29th, this is what happens. All of a sudden, 45 grand comes into play, right? So you can look at the chart when you pull that up, and you can see a candle that's going to spring out there for 32 million shares. Following day, 10 grand, actually 11 grand. Following day, 22 grand. Right? Then it goes to nothing again for 3 more days. I mean, $700, $200, then 5 grand, and then 17 grand, then 71 grand. Now, I know I'm rattling off a lot of numbers, and you probably said, no, okay, what's the point? My point is, on the 11th, out of the blue comes $222,000 into that stock, right? 78 million shares trade. Following day, 62 grand, then 26 grand. So what you're getting here is money flow is eating the living crap out of this float, right? Hence why it's going up. People are buying it, and they're not being very vocal about what's going on out there. The buzz has not been huge but what you're seeing is exactly, in my opinion, what GDSM did when it started. Very, very similar in many different ways. So if you probably pull up a chart and match them up, you're going to see something very similar. The difference with this one is it came from nowhere. Meaning it, hardly any volume for all the way. There was a little bit of volume in that March and in that beginning of the new year, and to me, I would say based off of their transparency and everything they're doing the filing, it's simply because what they're doing is they're building this product that they're getting ready to launch this thing in an absolute major way. So that's the Moneyball. So today, and then after the 222 grand out of the blue, you get 62 grand and the 26 grand. And then today I think you only had 7 million shares, but you get the idea. All right. So I set the stage for you for the Moneyball. I set the stage for your speculation. I set the stage for your hope. I set the stage for where this company is actually going. Now, the pieces of this architecture and this foundation that they have done by providing you this financial, they're saying, here, I filed, read every last little thing you want to know about us. This is where we're getting ready to go. Now, normally, okay, I'm going to jump to the news. What do you normally get in the OTC market when you have a company that's staging like this? What you normally get is press releases at the yin-yang, tons of them, just flowing. Merlin's coming, Merlin this. We're this far with developing Merlin. We're here with Merlin. All this other – you're not seeing any of that, which tells you that they're not trying to pump their damn stock. What they're trying to do is build a company. And they've already established a relationship with the big guns. They've already proved different products in the past. And I want to jump to the website real quick because I don't want to miss this. Okay. Now, the website, which is the DNADPK.com, right? Now, the beauty to this, and I'll say that one more time, www.DNADPK.com. And what you're able to do is that's the DNA Dynamics. Now, up to the right is all three portals, which is Dynamics, which is Studio, and Interactive. As we described earlier, they've kind of merged us into this website thing. It's really, really nice. And it gives you the home, tells you who they are, what they're about. It gives you updates of, all about the games, blogs, what they're doing, and all that type of stuff, all the different games that they have for iPad. And you're going to notice, here's the beauty to it, you're going to recognize some of these. You're going to, if you have kids or anybody, you're going to notice the Warheads, Quest of Legends, all that type of stuff. You see these out there on the games that you're trying to get. So they've already established that they can build games, sell games, and do exactly that. Now, About Us is the market, the DNA group, and the corporate profile, and, of course, the executive team, which I kind of went through that whole thing. The investor relations, press room, the corporate governance, the whole 9 yards. So you're able to see every last little thing that they've done there. Now, if I go to studios, where I want to launch the studios, because now it's all the other different games, the skills, the mix and scratch, just absolutely a ton of stuff that's flowing out there through the whole thing. So I want to go to Interactive, and I know I'm jumping on you here, but, I mean, you're going to have to – it will take you a couple hours to spend on these websites, and it's worth the time because it shows you that they have the background, they have the ability, they have that technology, they have the skill set, they have the knowledge, and they have the marketing tools as well as the infrastructure to be able to support and all the contacts. The legacy game, which was the Mach 3 iPhone game that's now available on the Android platform too, it's just growing and growing and growing from a very solid foundation. And I think this is the beginning stages or the groundwork of something very, very big. And if Merlin, if they market this Merlin game the way they've been marketing the show, and you already have some safety net and security in the fact that the next series of the next year for Merlin is still going. I mean, who knows how long that's going to go. I mean, Lord of the Rings just kept on going. But this type of stuff sells. People like this stuff. And as many listeners you got and as many people that are viewing these different programs are into that, and the games start coming out, they download the games. They buy this stuff. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, if you look at the money and the billions of dollars that have actually been spent on iPhone, Android, and all the apps and all the other stuff, it is mind-boggling what this stock can do. And, I'm sure a lot of things got to line up, but I know this. They already have the skill. They already have the team. They already have it getting ready, being built and getting ready to be released. And they have the infrastructure and the match made up with everything that they have from the Merlin. I mean, absolutely amazing. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to give you the last piece of the puzzle of why it's a money ball. Siffy, you with me? Siffy, I lose you?
Yep. Nope. I'm here, man.
Hey, no problem. How about can you throw the chart up for me?
Yeah, let's take a look at this chart. I really like the chart. I'm going to start with the weekly here. It would have been nice to see it close above that 20 MA. Just missed it. That 20 MA on a weekly is 0026. And like you said, you can go back to 2011 and 2010 to 2011. This thing was pretty much dormant. Came alive in 2011 and has been trading down. But you've seen a couple instances where big volume came in. But even with the big volume, once she crashed below that 50 and 20 at the beginning of 2011, she hasn't been able to get above that 20 for more than a day at a time and has only kissed the 50 once. and you got that 50 setting up there at 0056. So I want to see the weekly chart close above that 20, and then I'd feel comfortable about it moving towards that 50. You got your 200 all the way up at 0.1065, so almost 11 cents on that. As for the slow stow, looks good. It's coming off the bottom. It's at 7.04, so it's looking pretty overdone. Definitely got a lot of room to the upside. You got your PPO. It's still negative at minus 34, but it has crossed over and is heading towards the right direction up in the north. You also got your histogram starting to peek its head up into the positive at 0.883. Your RSI is at 44, so we want to see that get over 50. You can see ever since the beginning of 2011, it has not got back above 50, so that would be big on a weekly chart. Let's jump over to a daily, and you can see, like Cop said, that volume started coming in at the end of March, and it's just been climbing, and you got that one really big day. And like you said, a lot of those shares were all the way up almost at 3.9. So, and then the very next day too, you got another big pullback where a lot of people were, buying that and it kept coming down. But what I do like about it is you've got 3 days in a row where you've held that 50 MA, which is at 002. And so you got that and your 20 MA down below. I'd like to see that 20 cross up through that 50, and then I'd be pretty psyched thinking that it was going to go for that 200 up at that 0.005. You got your RSI, it's above 50. That's looking solid, and it hasn't done that since it broke below it back in February, where, like I said, wasn't able to hold above that 20 or that 50 and continued her heading south. You got your PPO, it's about ready to cross into the positive. The histogram already is positive and showing a lot of life. You got your slow stow, it's at 52.22, so that's good because you can draw a line on that and you can see the negative divergence that has been taking place, and both those divergences were broken to the upside, at the beginning of April. So a lot of stuff going on. I'd like to see more volume. You also could call that last candle here today, and on the weekly, you might want to call it a hammer. I was looking to see if there's any other setups on the candle world, but doesn't look like it. But I do like that you just got your supports below you. That's always a positive thing, and you can look at the chart. It hasn't happened in a while. So everything you talked about, Koff, in this chart, nice spotlight, man. Good to have you back.
Hey, glad to be back, guys. Yeah, I mean, this one's definitely a money ball. It meets every parameter that you're looking for the long, deep run. I mean, we look for these all the time, and just so anybody that notices out there, we always put compensated posts on every single thing we post just because we can mention it on the radio show and potentially change the direction of a stock. We're not compensated in any shape or form. It's just one hell of a damn pick right now. But that's what we got, Michael.
Very well done there, Mr. Cop.
Well, thanks, shipmate. Glad to be back.
You call me shipmate?
Hey, it's the going term. No, this is going to run deep. I really firmly believe that.
Time will tell. I have an awful lot of callers, but I don't know if anybody's actually calling in to talk. I think they're calling in to listen.
All right.
Do you want me to hit somebody and see if they're actually calling in to talk, or do you want to just move on?
We'll take whatever. We got nothing to hide here. That's the beauty of the show.
All right. I'm going to start with the last caller and work my way up. Caller, you're on the air.
احنا عايزين بس نظبط وتبقى 50.
Yes.
Absolutely.
مجانين كلهم ها؟ نفس الستايل.
Okay.
I'm not able to do that.
Not sure what they said, but okay. All right, next. I'm going to go to the next caller. You ready?
Yeah.
That one was interesting. Let's see what the next caller has to say. Oh, wait. This one's actually asking to talk.
Oh, there we go.
Let's bring them in first. Caller, you're on the air. Caller.
You're not having very good luck, man.
I love these call-ins. They work out great.
What's going on, STT and crew?
Well, there we go. There's the caller.
I have a problem with this mute button. I've been notorious for problem with the mute button, and excuse me, I apologize, but I'm at the bowling alley right now, as you can hear,
It's
him
Sumo.
saying
He doesn't count as a caller.
Well, it does.
Fat bastard Sumo.
He doesn't count,
Of course
man.
it counts. Everybody counts.
Oh, geez.
absolutely.
Sumo Slammer.
Hey,
Even though he may be part of the show, he still screws up like every other caller.
That's awesome.
Am I talking? No, I'm not talking. Am I? Maybe I am. Who knows?
I really thought I was talking over here, and that I had to hide the keypad and pull up the main screen and make sure that my phone wasn't muted. Sure enough, I'm muted over here. It's like I said, I'm notorious for having a problem with the mute button. But hey, what else is new?
Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
How's the game, Sumo?
Oh, this actually, I'm not bowling too bad. I had the first 3 strikes, and I got tapped on the 4th frame, left the 10th, and missed that. Had another 3 strikes, and I just picked this wicked split. So
nice.
looks like I'll probably shoot a 220, 230 game, a little bit above average.
Good deal, man. I just asked because I know how STT and Cop love to talk bowling.
Yeah, that's our favorite thing to do.
Favorite thing to do. Talk about bowling.
Last week, Mike STT called in from the golf course, and Hoff called in from the hockey arena. So, why not call in from the bowling alley? What the heck?
Exactly.
I'll call in from a barrel.
I caught the tail end of the spotlight. You guys did a great job. I loved your chart analysis, Sippy. You always do a great job. I was getting a kick out of it. It's kind of interesting to be on the other end, not being behind the computer screen, seeing the chart actually there, but I was visualizing it in my head pretty well.
Nice.
Hands down.
All right, man.
So you guys get back to doing what you do best. I'm gonna hopefully pull off the sheet here and take it off the sheet and pull a nice series for the night.
Yeah, stay focused.
Take care, guys.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, just so you know, my personal cell phone is ringing now with people having questions to talk about DNAD. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, that's good. What do they got?
Yeah.
No, I told them to call in on the right number.
How'd they get your cell phone number? That's kind of weird.
Stop speaking Russian or whatever that was.
Sound like Canadian.
Yeah.
So I will wait a second. Let me see. Oh, it was a private number, so I can't even ID it. Do you want to try another caller?
Sure, why not?
Soon I'll put you on hold. Here he is. He's on.
Hello?
Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I was going to talk about DNAD, DNAD.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I just listened to your presentation. I didn't hear anything about the Naked Gun, which was one of the big presentations they're supposed to have been having come out the last few months, and big money maker.
Sure. It's true. That's one of the new releases that's actually just happened, right? Or is happening.
Well, it's been happening for 4 months.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. I just don't think it's to the level of what Merlin is, solely due to the fact that the infrastructure of the Merlin show throughout the world. That's the main thing that I have with that. I was looking at that as well, and that's why I wanted to drive people to the website and those type of things. But you are right. That is another one of those new releases.
Well, I'm a shareholder, and they've been telling us for 6-8 months this is our big money maker, and Merlin came along after that. And we still haven't got Naked Gun. I just wonder if it's still in the game. They haven't had it out yet.
Right, because the thing about the Naked Gun, that's with Paramount, if I remember correctly, right? Paramount Comedy franchise.
That's right.
Yeah, because I remember reading that whole thing, and that was supposed to be out at the end of Q1 2012, which is now as well, right?
Right.
Right. Should have been out at the end of March. So what I think is probably the best thing to do at this stage with that is I would hope by this radio show and a couple of things that we're saying, what our goal is we're going to try to get the CEO on the show live, and so hopefully what we can do is reach out to the IR firm tomorrow and see if we can link that up, because believe me, even in the DD I was doing and the due diligence I did was only like 3 or 4 hours. So I'm sure that you guys that have been invested in stock for a long time have a lot of questions and those type of things that you would want answered. So what I would hope to do is try to book that CEO interview, get them in, and then basically go to the board and say, okay, any outlying questions that you guys want answered, drop them on the board, and we'll try to get them answered. But you're right. When there's still a lot of questions out there. I mean, it's always hard to, with a penny stock, especially when it's trading at this level, 0.0025.
I know too
very,
well.
Very low.
Yeah.
And answer me this. Let me ask you one question.
Surely.
When you look at the things that they're getting ready to do and some of the stuff that I just talked about in the program with the Naked Gun and Merlin, I mean, there's huge possibilities here, isn't there?
Well, there are tremendous possibilities, but they've just kind of hit a drag of, you're talking about transparency. We haven't had any news out of them. And we keep getting the news from the IR people that they're in negotiations, and soon you'll hear news. We've been hearing soon now for several weeks, if not months, and it hasn't happened.
I'm going to crack that nut for you.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm going to crack that nut for you because I like this one, and I think Kathy Addison and that group down there, they're really good, and they always do what's in the best interest of shareholders. That's what makes them good.
Well, that's great to hear.
So you guys are pretty fortunate with that. So what we'll do is we'll reach out to them, try to get the CEO on, and we'll keep the board posted for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for calling in.
You bet.
No problem.
All right, take care. Okay. I got a few more. Do you want to try or don't want to try? Or what do you want?
Sure, why not?
Stuff. Keep it coming, man.
All right, let's see what we get here. This person's been on and listening the whole entire show, okay? And those that missed any portion of tonight's show, you'll be able to catch it in its entirety approximately 9:45 Eastern Standard Time on Investors Hub under videos and then market commentary. And we will post links on our board on Investors Hub, that's Stock Traders Talk Radio, and on the DNAD board. All right, here we go. Going for another caller. Caller, you're on the air. Caller? On air. Caller? No caller there.
Oh, Cop, you're my hero.
No joy.
Last one. That was good, Seth. Next time when I call a caller, and if they don't say
I should have been like, oh, yeah, hi, guys. I just wanted to call and say, Cop, you're my hero.
There you go.
I want to raise.
Let's roll with that from now on. All right, here we go. Last try. I give up after this. Caller, you're on the air. STT Radio. So silent. Scary.
That's like, are you really getting these callers? I mean, are they really just not there? Are you messing this up?
Hello?
Hello, caller.
Hello?
You're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Good.
You want to bash Top? Go ahead.
Yeah, please. Open forum. Did you have any comments on tonight's show or no?
Things have sounded well. Been with the stock a long time.
Okay.
Followed it since the beginning. I'm assuming from what I've heard from IR that the Naked Gun game is coming soon. Big information coming soon. They said days, not weeks. So we're expecting some information shortly. So that's always been a plus. Nice to see the volume pick up. It's been a long, hard road since the first of the year. So
that's normally the telltale sign with that.
Excuse me?
That's normally the telltale sign with that. When when a lot of insiders and a lot of people close to the company or whatever will start buying the stock, and you're getting volume out of nowhere, and that $200,000 day was just huge. I mean, for the stock, I mean it was unprecedented and pretty much a game changer from a scale of where it was trading. What's very interesting is you had huge volume in the January, February standpoint, in the 30 to 40 area, which showed you that they thought the game was going to come out sooner. That's how I kind of connect the dots with a lot of that type of stuff.
Sure. And the legacy game that they have out, they have put that on the Kindle also.
Oh, did they?
And yes, around the first of the year. I hear it's a real good buying experience. It's a lot easier to purchase. The in-app purchases and other things along the way, and the profitability is much better on Kindle versus the other platforms. Haven't heard it released for the Warheads game yet, but I'm assuming that's coming shortly too.
Yeah, it looks like all the stars are aligning with this, and it's as if they're trying to do everything at the same time, which is kind of odd. But it could be, with bringing on the heavy hitting IR and the different things that they have and the marketing platforms, and maybe what set the stage that changed everything is the big contract with Merlin. I mean, that's a big one to pull. I mean, Paramount's pretty big as well, but not nearly as big as Free Media.
Sure. The guys at Blinco, he's all the due diligence I've done, he's a industry leader looked up to, so he's got a lot of connections. I'm sure a lot of the young startups would probably love to work with the guy too, so that's always been a positive in my sight. So
I would agree. Well, good luck to you. I think your wait's about to end here soon.
Sure. Thanks, guys, for putting it on tonight. Get a few more listeners, a few more eyes on this one.
No problem.
Sure.
All right, Mr. Kopp.
Yes, sir.
You have run my show into the ground, and I have no time left for mine and Siffy's segment. Therefore, I'm going to air your dirty laundry on the air.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to air your dirty laundry on the air.
Perfect. Good.
I sent you on a mission last week.
Yes.
20 companies in 7 days.
I know.
Did we achieve our goal?
17. 17 companies.
It's unacceptable.
Is that acceptable?
Nope. It's totally unacceptable.
Dude, it wasn't easy, man. I mean,
a quota to quota.
I mean, Philadelphia, Atlanta, the Gulfport in Biloxi, Mississippi thing, which is a little odd, but I did it. New Orleans, San Francisco, and Seattle.
Okay.
And let me, yeah, exactly.
And the excuse comes in where?
And Tacoma, right? I had to drive down to Tacoma too.
Mm-hmm. And the excuse comes in where? What was the delay? What was the holdup?
There's a couple of them I just couldn't reach, because the key thing about it was many people were supposed to know I wasn't there, and we just so you guys know out there in the listening world, we listed a bunch of companies that we believe to either be real or not be real, to have a real product, and we kind of wanted to prove a whole bunch of things, and quite frankly, I wasn't very pleased with the trip, to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry, sir. We'll do better next time. But next time.
The trip was fine, but a lot of the companies that we went to see were not that great.
Next time, it's me and Siffy's turn. I don't care what to say.
Fair enough.
Mine and Siffy. I'll fly him all the way in from Hawaii if I have to.
Vegas.
There we go. Going to Vegas, baby.
There's a lot of OTC companies.
All right, we want to thank everybody for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio tonight. Don't forget, catch the morning show, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. You've been listening to Stock Traders Talk. All of us here at Stock Traders Talk Radio wish all of you out there in Stock Traders Talk listening land the best in all your trades, and may your portfolio always be green. This is Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out.
Aloha. Good to have you back, Cop.
Good stuff.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being